Hey, it's El Jefe once again, and I should really be in bed because I have work in a couple hours, but I have another Guinness here, and I just watched a movie that I felt like talking about, and thought I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's called The Adjustment Bureau, which came out earlier this spring, starring Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. It's like it's an imaginative love story slash. I don't think you could really call it sci-fi, but it's based on a story by Philip K. Dick, who I need to find some stuff by this guy and read it because every movie I've seen based on his stuff, I really enjoy. I love Minority Report. I think Minority Report is one of the best Steven Spielberg movies. But to the Adjustment Bureau, this is based on a Philip K. Dick story called Adjustment Team, I believe. And it's written and directed by George Nolfi, who was like a writer on Ocean's 12 and The Bourne Ultimatum. And so he hasn't done a lot, but he does a good job here. Um, what is it about? It's basically Matt Damon. He plays a politician who, by chance meets a girl one night, and he kind of falls for her, and then he kind of accidentally stumbles upon this team of guys who are basically like the fates of the world. Basically, they're there to make sure that the plan set out by God, goes according to plan. And him, Matt Damon, the politician, meeting this ballet dancer played by Emily Blunt, it's not part of the plan. In fact, it's part of the plan that they don't meet. And you know, and when he stumbles upon this group, they warn him not to tell anybody about what he knows now about them, or they'll erase his memory. And they're like, "Oh, by the way, you're not supposed to ever have met that girl, so you can't see her again." And then, of course, because this is a movie and a romantic movie at that, he wants to see her again. He wants to go after free will and this and that. Um, but there's just enough really fun, interesting ideas in this to make this worth seeing. And it's well directed and it's nicely paced. I think the movie's like maybe like an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. Nice length, and it never feels like it's dragging on at all. It just goes right through it. Um, I don't know. I like the fact that these guys that are controlling everything in the world, that they're fallible, that they're not perfect. Maybe even God, which they refer to as the chairman. The chairman isn't perfect. Um, and just they have like all these little details about them, and there's like it builds a mythology around these guys, like their hats give them magic, and God limits their powers, and they're not you know angels really, but they're not immortal, but they live longer than other people, and just lots of little things. I don't want to spoil the movie, but that's what I enjoyed the most about it is just the little things about them, thrown in there, like all these little details about these guys and what they can do and what they can't do, and just the idea. I mean, this is a classic story that there's these people out there that control things, that control destiny, and then of course, can you break out of destiny and create your own fate and blah blah blah. It was just fun. Um, I'm not gonna say believable or not because I don't believe in this stuff, but we would all love to believe in this stuff, right? You want to believe, and that's what makes it fun to watch. Um, and Matt Damon and Emily Blunt, they're both good in it. They have good chemistry together. There's something that feels natural in the early moments with them meeting. I like the way Emily Blunt acts towards Matt Damon, like she's just like a no nonsense type of girl. and she's likable like that. Um, it's a little bit of cliche to it, like oh they're instantly in love and he has to see this girl, but it fits into the plot of the story in a way without spoiling anything more. And Matt Damon, of course, is very good in it. I feel like they're not as interesting to me, like as I thought these supernatural elements were. Like I was more interested in the Adjustment Bureau and finding out stuff about them. But honestly, like their romance in it is it's decent and it's better than probably a lot of movies where the romance is the only thing to go see the movie for. Here you have this whole supernatural element to it that I think adds a cool layer to it. And then you have lots of cool guys that are in the Adjustment Bureau, uh, part of the adjustment team. I call them the Fates, but the guys that control fate or control the plan or to try to keep the plan on track. And you have Terrence Stamp as he's like a higher up. He's like just below God. You have Anthony Mackie from the Hurt Locker, who is like this. He works for them, but he feels like maybe the plan isn't always correct. Maybe there's flaws in it. And he's good in it. I really like Anthony Mackie in it. And then you have God. I'm not gonna go look at his name up now and slow down the video, but you have Roger from Mad Men, who is like kind of the main one that you meet first. And he's just a regular company man. I like how they portray like God and these guys that are working for him as just like any other business kind of, and the Roger from Mad Men is just like this is just a job for me, and I don't always know what he wants me to do, but I have to do it. This is how you do your job. This is how you go about it. There's enough stuff like that makes the movie worth seeing alone, even if you don't buy into the romance, even if you don't buy into what this stuff is about, which I don't believe. I don't believe in destiny. I don't believe in any of that stuff. But it's fun, right? It's fun to make believe and think that's how the world is, and it's interesting and it's smart, even if you don't believe in it. And there's enough stuff with them that makes this worth seeing, and even if you're not totally into the romance element of it, you have two really good actors that are selling it. I mean, Matt Damon is top notch. Emily Blunt is very good here. Like I said, I really liked her character. So it was a fun movie. I almost went with like 4 out of 5 stars, but I'll give this a really solid 3 out of 5. It speaks to what you want to believe, and that makes it fun. And it has interesting, cool ideas in it, and this cool premise. And what it's basically about is he's gonna try to meet the girl, or he's gonna try to with the girl, even though it's not part of God's plan. And what happens from that, I don't want to spoil it. You can maybe guess, but it's a fun ride for what it is. So very solid 3 out of 5 stars. Definitely worth seeing. I recommend checking out the Adjustment Bureau, especially if you're a fan of stuff like interesting, weird stuff like that, like supernatural. I can't really call it sci-fi because there's not any science in it. And if you're a fan of the actors, check it out. So, solid 3 out of 5. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see what I talk about next. Who knows? Anyways, later.